yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What's up, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good? What's up, y'all? I'm just waiting for a few minutes to go by. Just to let a few people to join in. Tori, what's up? It feels like a long time. It ain't been that long though. It's been like almost a week. So maybe it is a warm up, Tori. Maybe that is a warm up because I'm actually just making sure my sound is coming through good. So I guess it is. I guess it is. A warm up sounds kind of like this for me. I guess I'll start out this way. Let me actually switch back to this screen. Let's go. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Here we go. As boring as it sounds. Take it back up. That's like a warm up for me, and then I do. And then I go all the way up. I do that all the way up the neck. That's like a warm up for me. So, yeah. That's all right. As far as you, Tori, like, I mean, how long has it been? Has it been like about a month since you first saw me? That's great. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually really, really great. Yeah. I mean, this when I'm doing the spider crawl, I guess that's what I call it. That You're not doing it one time and then you just have it automatically. That's not how it works, you know. And actually, I mean, maybe I could speak to a lot of guitar players to just make sure that you know, like, anytime I'm showing something or any guitar instructor is showing anything, the lesson is not meant for you to get it on the first try, ever, you know. But you do got to dip your toe in at some point, and then put your whole foot in, and so on and so forth, you know. So at first, you know, for me, it was literally like trying to get past the first, trying to just do that. So it's, you know, you do it with one string first. And sometimes you got to start out with those two, because you got to make your right hand and your left hand match up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yep. It's just, your fingers will be that fluid if you put the time in. Some stuff, there's not going to be any like workaround. You gotta put the time in. And I'll be honest with you, just being honest. And I'm not trying to push myself, like promote myself, like I'm the key to all of it. I'm not. But if you hang with me, you will know how to do that, because I push it so much. Like, I'm just like, if you know, we're trying to do all these chords. We're trying to do that. How else can our fingers get the dexterity? You got to have some sort of, exercise that can give your fingers the independence. You know, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. So, you know, I'm not the guitar instructor that's gonna be like, you know, how to, all the clickbait stuff. I ain't gonna front. I do a little bit of clickbait, but I really am trying to like teach certain stuff. But you know, I'll teach you how to play this in 5 seconds. I ain't gonna tell you that. I'm gonna be like, yo, you need to put the work in. You know, I'm gonna kind of tell you the truth. But guess what though? Once you learn one thing, I can pull like 9 things out of that one thing that you learn. That can be instant. You know, like if you know a chord, you know, if you do that, you know, I can pull like 9 different lessons out of just knowing this one chord. If you would just commit to knowing that chord, I can pull a bunch of stuff out of that. But you got to do that though. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's where I come from. I'm not, you know, I'm about putting the work in, but I'm about putting the correct type of work in there. You know what I'm saying? So, if I can help to shorten the learning curve, I will. One person, this is just a guy on YouTube. You ask what kind of guitar? It's a parts caster. It's a Strat parts. That's it. It's not like a genuine Fender, but it's originally a Squier, but upgraded pick guard, you know, different neck. I painted that black. Fender tuners, genuine Fender tuners. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, but it's pretty much a Strat. I just upgraded the parts. The pickups. This is for $1. This is a Seymour Duncan loaded pick guard with little 59s in it. And these are single coil sized humbuckers in the neck in the middle position. But this bridge used to have a single coil size humbucker in there. Used to. I switched it up and put a full size humbucker in there. And this is a dime bucker humbucker. So that's what it is. Which I'm pretty solid on the pickups. I ain't gonna do no more upgrading. I pretty much like it. But yeah, like the more you someone said hello Hanson. I don't know what that means. Am I supposed to be Hanson? Oh, forget it. I'll play with my teeth like Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I appreciate that. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all joining, man. I appreciate y'all joining me. I am a guitar teacher. Somebody asked, am I a guitar teacher? Yup. That's why I'm on here. So, yeah. So today, I'm actually, you can see the title on YouTube. You know, pretty much talking about double stops. So double stops are pretty much just two note harmonies. That's really all it is. It ain't nothing like real deep, you know what I'm saying? I might pick on some guitar instructors, you know what I'm saying? They go into this deep like analysis of what it is, and I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that, but I'm not here to give you the deep analysis. Double stops are just you're playing two notes at one time. That's it. Like this. Instead of this. And then you do it in a sequence. That's a double stop. That's it. And you can do other sequences like, and they don't have to, they can be close or far apart, you know, all those things. So they could be I put up a couple of posts. Actually, I put up a couple of posts on TikTok, I believe. I try to do them across all the platforms. I think I put them up on YouTube as well. But I answered somebody's question. You know, they were just kind of asking, what is it like? Are double stops only fifths apart? No, they aren't. They could be a third apart. They could be a fourth apart. And you know, Anthony, what's good, man? Now, but I'm gonna show y'all what that means though. Okay, a third and a fourth. Like, what does that mean? You know, a lot of people don't care about that, but that stuff is important. I don't like just showing notes, and I don't like just showing shapes. I'll be honest with you. I'm not into teaching the man. Give me some music, Kashif, man. Yo, you got this, man. Let's put some music on, man. Do I even got some music? I don't think I do. I don't think I do. I thought I had some music up. I guess I don't. Oh, here we go. Let's go. But anyway, so it's cool, you know, I push this. It's cool to like to learn shapes, and I think that is a good start. But, you know, just knowing shapes, we ain't doing that over here. You know, we'll start out with shapes, and I think there's a place for that, because you get acclimated to how to position your hands certain ways. But we're not going to stick there and stay there the whole time. We're not doing that. You're going to know why those are the shapes. Okay? That's all. I mean, I ain't going to harp too much about that. So for YouTube, anybody who wants to see like more than just what's on TikTok, you know, on TikTok, you know, they might just want to see what my hands are doing. But on YouTube, I show the whole chart or whatever. Alex Valentine. You say, I mean music theory? What do you mean, do I mean music theory? I do share some things that pertains to theory, but I try to say it in plain words like how I'm talking now. You know, sometimes theory leaves people a little flustered. you know. So I try to take all that away. Take all the frustration away. The flustration, I guess. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to the key of G, like I shared in a couple of shorts, you know, a couple of reels or whatever. Key of G. We're gonna just keep it there. So we'll pretty much stay in the key of G this whole time. So on YouTube, I'll just show these charts real quick so that you can just see the, you know, the way that you position your fingers. And I'll play it, you know, so that you can put your eyes on it, and we can just go from there. All right. So here are the illustrations, and I should like take that down, kind of zoom in a little bit. And this is literally it. Some of you already know this. So the one of the key of G, G major, is a G major. Okay, that's that. And I'll just play it through so that you can just do your snapshots. Okay, that's pretty much, those are the chords. I might refer back and forth to it as needed. All right. Okay. So using that as like a foundation, one thing that I like to show is that if you know how to play a chord, and you can play a full chord, like so, like that. I Tabitha Brown joint. I also tell you that you don't have to play a full chord all the time. You know, sometimes in learning guitar, we get kind of caught up in, you know, playing the full chord. But you're playing 6 notes all at once. So you can pick and choose 2 notes, and you're still playing notes that belong to a particular chord. So if I play this, those notes do belong in that G major still. You know what I'm saying? If I go up 1 step, and this is the 2 of G major, which is an A minor, well, and I play these, well, those notes are inside of A minor. So if I play this, well, technically those chords fit inside the chord and inside the progression. So if you go, well, you can also play, and I'm only playing the top 2 notes on the E and B string from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret. You know, now that don't fit over everything, but over those chords, it fits. You know, so that's like a basis of, you know, of course you have 6 other chords to play with, or whatever, or 5 other chords to play with. So, and you have several ways, because you can also do this. There's G major, and you can pick what's on in the B and G string, coming from the 3rd to the 5th fret. Well, that comes from those 2 chords as well, and you can do kind of the same deal. So, and but these do too. You know what I'm saying? So you can choose those two notes that come from one chord. And if you already know the full chord, where you can just select the notes that you want to play. Just select two of them. But become familiar with the chord first. So sometimes we want to go straight to double stops. Well, I'm here to tell you what the foundation is. You felt like you was cutting corners. Well, it is cutting corners if you don't know where it's coming from. At the same time, I want to add, we got to start somewhere. Like, I ain't trying to like pat y'all on the hand for playing double stops without learning deeper stuff. I'm also saying, know what the double stop belongs to. That's all. Because if we're just playing double stops, then we don't know what else to do after that. So someone else said, no. I don't leave theory out. No, I want to get that straight. I like to speak about theory in very plain terms. You understand me? So I'm still talking theory. You may not hear me say, use all of the terminology. If I do use the terminology, I will define that terminology instead of throwing it around when not everybody knows that term. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's say, for example, let's play these notes in thirds. Who in the freak knows what a third is when it comes to music? Okay, let me explain what thirds mean. So I'll explain it. Let's go from thirds to fourth in the key of G, and don't, as a new guitar player, or even in some cases an intermediate guitar player, who cares? Okay, I'm gonna show you why you should care, but I'm gonna say it in a way that is more like we're just having a conversation, basically. All right, so now let's move on, and let me kind of stay on that subject of thirds and fourths and fifths, things like that. And I've already introduced it, but let me just kind of go over it. I'm going to kind of talk over it, but just know that just if I talk about it and kind of move on, it doesn't mean I'm not going to come back to it. I'm not expecting you to get it the first time. It's not it. It's just, it really does require repetition, to be honest. All right. So in very plain terms, okay, I speak about the major scale quite a bit, and I'm gonna bring that up, which is like a foundation of things as well. On YouTube, I'm gonna play this major scale. I'm gonna bring it there. So actually, let me go to this one. And let me bring this right here. Okay. Now, the reason I'm showing that is because I want you to see exactly where you put your fingers, because I'm going to play it right here, and it's going to look like, well, where are you putting your fingers? Well, I'm showing it right here. Those of you on TikTok, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go to my YouTube page, go to my profile page on TikTok and just click the link up there under my picture. I'm showing the illustration, basically. And I'll go back and forth. So let me go back here. Okay, so I just pretty much showed you how to play a G major, like a G major scale. All right. Each and every one of those notes, you can assign a number to the note. This is why, like, and Brian, thank you. Thanks. I'm glad it's helpful. You basically assign a number. We all know our alphabets, I hope. If we don't know our alphabets, I hope you know A through G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Congratulations, you know how to say your alphabet through G. And hopefully you know how to count to 7. If you don't, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Congratulations, you know how to count 1 to 7. But if you assign those numbers to 1 through G, that's crazy. A through G, you assign 1 to A, 2 to B, so on and so forth, 3 to C, da 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 da. You can you know, go where you need to go. Well, not scratch what I just said. Just each note, okay? In this case, if we're in the key of G, the first note is G, not A. So scratch what I just said. So G is right here, 3rd fret on the E string. Okay, so we're right here. So that's the 1. The 2 is the A. Now it's the A in the key of G major. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. These are the same notes. They're what you call an octave away. The word octave could be technical for some people, but I'm going to use the word octave. So, but the technical term of octave is just, you know, it's the same note, but one higher than the other, or one lower than the other. But this is the same note as this. They're both G's. One is just higher than the other. But that, if you use solfeggio, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. We've all heard that before. That's a major scale. And if you assign a number to each tone, each note, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, it doesn't go away. That same thing applies to the chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So they go together, basically. All right. Now, let me explain this part just as I'm like moving further. So this scale is what makes it the 1. But why does the major chord come from that? Well, because a major chord consists of a 1, a 5th, a 1, a 3rd, the root, the 3rd, and the 5th. Well, we know what the root is because the G is the root. But what is the 3rd and the 5th? Because we want to know why this is a major chord. You know, enough of, well, here's a major chord. There's the chart. Memorize it. No, I don't want you to do that. I want you to know why. Okay. So a root is just that. That's the note that it starts on. And again, I am speaking theory, but I'm just saying the root, we might throw out tonic. We might throw out all types of stuff. But anytime you hear the word root, it's the note that you're starting on. That's it. I don't want to go deeper than that. So a 3rd away is literally counting up. So if I count up the scale, like how I did, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 2, 3. That 3, which is a 3rd, is in this chord. It's an octave away, but it's in there. So these 2 notes are in there, a 1st and a 3rd. Now that 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That 5th is in there. That makes up a major chord. A root, a 3rd, and a 5th. No matter what you're playing, a root, a 3rd, and a 5th makes up a major chord. Period. It don't matter. You might be playing it in A. The same thing is true. You play the same exact major scale in A. The same intervals. You're just starting at A. Same thing is true. Root is A. 1, 2, 3. Here's the 3rd. If you keep going up that scale, 4, 5, there's the 5th. That's it. Now the thing is, there are other 5ths on these strings that you can go up here. Here's a fifth, here's a fifth, here's a third, here's a here's another root. So here's a root, here's a root, here's a fifth, here's a fifth, here's a third, and that makes up the chord. There's another root. That is why it's a major chord, okay? And you can play a major chord this way or this way. It don't matter where you playing it from. So just know that part, okay? So the same thing is true for a minor chord, except for a minor chord is a root of that of where you're starting, a flatted third, and a fifth. So you have to know how to count that. Okay, so that's what a minor chord is. So if you know what that is, then you won't be lost in, yeah, I got these charts and I got, okay, for what? Can you count the doggone chord? If you can't count it, what's the point? And again, it's okay to start. And I look at charts too. I look at charts, I look at tabs, but so what? I want to know why a dominant seventh chord is a dominant seventh. I want to know why a diminished chord is a diminished chord. Enough of them. And them charts that be this way, that be straight up, why we even do that? So I do sometimes use just for like, what we're used to. But for the most part, I show guitar charts that look like a doggone guitar neck, which is horizontal. That's the way you're looking at it. That makes sense to me. So I think guitar learners be getting thrown off a little bit by having vertical stuff. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's get back. So now that I've said what I've said, let me get back to double stops. I kind of did a rabbit trail, but it's still important. All right, so I'm going to take these charts down. So now that you know these chords, you know the chords. And like I said before, you can actually pick whatever notes within the chord you want to play together, as long as it's two. That's a double stop. Okay? Now, some people know how to move with these chords called double stops. In my opinion, it makes it easier to move if you play double stops. Now, some people know how to do the, like they can move real fluidly, but double stops help you to do it even better. You know what I'm saying? Just like I showed you what a third is like counting up the scale like that. A fourth is the same thing. So here's the G. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a fourth. So those notes played together are played in fourths. Here's a fifth, which is really like a power chord. Okay, so that's a root and a fifth. Here's a third. That's all. So when they say played in thirds, that's what that means. All right. So okay, so there you go. Now, let's come up with the chord progression. Some of y'all can like throw it out if you want to engage in the comments. Let's keep the chord progression in like 1 through 7. Okay. I'm gonna come up with one, but if y'all just kind of want to throw one in the comments, maybe 3 or 4 chords, and we can use it to just show something. You know what I'm saying? So if anyone is listening, if you want to throw one out, I'll let you throw one out. Meaning a chord progression. No flats and sharps. Like a flat 7, or just 1 through 7. An example is like a 1, 5, 4 chord progression, or a 1, 6, 5 chord progression. If I don't get one, if don't nobody throw one out, I'm gonna just do one. Brian says a 2, 5, 1. Let's do it. So we're in the key of G. So this is the 1. If you're in the key of G and you're on the G major, that's the 1. So 2, 5, 1. Here's the 2. So I'm going to count up the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. 7, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go back to the 2. Here's the 2. Here's the 5. Here's the 1. So that's the chord progression. So there are some songs that actually do that. Okay? That pattern. Oh. It might go to the 4 after that. And then we're going to go somewhere after this. All right. Someone says, just FYI, I only hear you in my left ear. Do you have a stereo? Is that true for everybody? So let me do this. Because I don't want... Thank you for saying that. And let me fix that real quick. Because I got my setup. It's like a stereo setup right now. Let me close that and do this. Let me do... Boom. Can you hear me in both ears? Let me know. I'm gonna do that one next. Oh yeah, those are some good ones. All right, so on NBGT, let me know if you hear me. Let me know if you can hear me in both ears now. I be having all types of configurations. I had it set up to where y'all could hear it like in stereo if I put on delay, but I guess it ain't work. I was wanting y'all to hear like bling, bling, bling. Hey, I tried. All right, cool. I got a few suggestions. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Thank you so much. All right, cool. So the first one we're gonna do is 2-5-1. That's like a go-to. So, ooh, a little bassy. Let's not do that. Let me turn my bass down. All right. So, all right. So that's the chord progression, right? Okay. So for this A minor, which is the 2 of the G major key, I can use, which right now, without explaining the notes, which I can tell you what the notes are, which is a C and a G. It's in the 5th fret on my G string and my D string. Okay, that's what I'm playing. And these are fourths. As far as intervals, these are fourths. As far as the double stops. Okay. So that is a part of the G minor 7th chord. Not a G minor chord, but a G minor 7th. If I were playing a G minor chord, that would actually be 3rd. But I'm going to play fourths. And the 5 is actually a D major. So if I were to play that in a sequence, it would sound like this. If I added a diminished 7th, go back. So if I wanted to add that in there, but if I were to play that double stop, So I'm basically taking notes that I'm already playing in the full chord, which in this case, I'm only playing the D string and the G string. Double stops. That's it. And if you add flavor to it, you want to add some, you know what I'm saying? Put your whammy on. You know what I'm saying? Or no whammy, but you're bending. So if you were to do it in a band setting, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you're you're still utilizing walking up the scale, walking down the scale. And you can embellish by playing other notes that are already in the key. You got to play notes that are already in the key. You can't be just playing random notes. You're staying in the key. So you're only playing one of these notes. You're playing one only. You're not going outside. So I did that because I added the diminished seventh of the A flat, diminished seventh. Do I have an opinion on cheap Chinese replacement necks? I do have an opinion because I tried one. My experience of buying cheap Chinese necks is that they are good necks, but the frets don't be finished. You got to do extra work after you get the neck. And the frets be like real sharp on the edges. Like they're straight. They're straight. Yo, Anthony, man, you be showing respect, man. You be letting me know when you piecing out. I appreciate it. You ain't got to do that, but I appreciate it. Good night, man. Cool. Thank you. And thanks for tapping in, too. Yeah, man. But yeah, to Sheb Webb. Yeah, that's cheap necks. Here's the thing. When you buy a neck, and if you got to put more time into it, if you're already a luthier and that's what you do your thing. Buy a cheap neck, fix it up. But your time is more valuable than money, to be quite honest with you. So if you're going to spend more time to fix it, why do that? Just spend the money. This particular neck is a Mighty Mite neck. So if you see a neck that says Mighty Mite, it's not quite as thick as an authentic Fender neck, but it is approved by Fender. So the frets are nice and smooth on the edge. The neck is nice and straight, and that joint lasts long. But yeah, that's what it is. Let's do another chord progression. Let's do another one. 5, 4, 1, 5. Okay, let's do that. Darcy. 4. No. My bad. 6, 4, 1, 5. My bad. I need to refresh on my Roman numerals. I'm tripping. All right. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 1. So 6, 4, 1, 5. There's the chord progression. There you go. I did that in double stops. And again, I played it on the D and the G string. I literally just played the chord. And what I'm playing with my ring finger and pinky finger, I'm kind of keeping it there. You know, so that's that's pretty much what I did. Okay. The next one is the 6, 2, 3, 7, 1. 6, 2, 3, 7, 1. So let me practice that a couple times. So the way I might play that is same thing again. And on the 7, I mean, there are a couple of chords that you can play that actually qualifies as a 7. I keep it major sounding. In this case, I'm playing a D major over F sharp. You could play a F sharp half diminished or a F sharp minor flat 5. So I'm not the F sharp minor flat 5 thing. We're not talking about that right now. Okay. But yeah, 6, if I remember correctly, 2, 3, 7, 5. I mean 1. Sorry. Anytime I'm moving with it, I'm going to the next place in the scale. And so instead of going, I'm playing something in between. You can do that too. All right, 3. And that 3 and the 7 kind of got the same double stops on that string. It's in the same place. And I'm keeping it on the D and G string. Now I can move to a different set. Like I can do that. Go to the G and B string. So I can do it like this. If I were to sauce it up some more. Put that whammy on it. So I mean that's that chord progression. Yeah, no problem. That's the Shed Webb. 6541. That is from the realist on TikTok. So 6, 5, 4, 1. That's it. Now, just because we know those notes don't mean that we don't put no seasoning on that thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. And again, I'm only playing the D and G string. You could always use the other strings. I'm just showing, you could, that 6 can be this, or this. It could be either one. So I could do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you're not limited. So 6. 5, 4. I can go up here on the 4. Or here. So yeah, either one is good. So, and it's cool to, just like you do this, I might do like a tutorial on how to do a double stop scale. So let me do it up here. You know what I'm saying? So you're kind of doing the same thing with the chords that you know. You know what I'm saying? Just lock the chords in first, and you'll be able to like put it together. But one thing at a time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Let me do that a little fast. That's sloppy. That's wild. Now, you could actually, I got more messages. Lakeisha Wilson, what's good? I appreciate the emojis. Let's see what we got. Can I do 6541? Did I just do that? Yeah, I actually just did that. Yeah, the release. Yeah, you were circling back around, so I just did it. Cool. Go ahead with my bad self. Hey man, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. How do I determine when 6 or 9 double stops work? Okay, when you say 6 or 9, I'm gonna say back to you what I think you're saying. Like, is the 4 happy to be a 6? You said the AI chord, and I don't know if that was a typo. Because the 6, like, there's no 9 chord when it comes to like intervals. There's only a 9 chord when it comes to extended chords. Here's what I mean. Here's a 9 chord. Here's the 6 of the G major. That's a 6. But the structure of that chord is it is a E minor, or you can do an E minor 7. Now a 9 chord is it's not a minor chord. So I mean, that's like, that's a 9 chord. So do you mean a 9 chord in that sense? Here's a minor 9. So I don't know if you meant to do a type of different number, but when you say a 6 chord, I'm thinking you mean a 6 as in the key of G. You mean a E minor set, a E minor. So, I mean, I get that, Cornell Dupree. Like, I understand that, but I'm trying to hear your question the right way. Now, again, I'm going to answer it the way that I think. Okay, I'm going to answer that the way that I think you're asking it. So, if you're playing a 6 chord, again, like right now, we're talking about like 1 through 7 in that sense within a major key. Now, if you're talking about a 6 chord in terms of, that's still kind of like abstract for others who are not. I'm trying to explain it in a way where everybody can understand. That's why I keep coming back at you like that. So again, I'm going to say it in plain terms. All right. Now there's a 6. There are other chord structures outside of major chords, and a 6 chord is one of them, which is different from what I'm talking about. So you could play a minor 7th, and there's a 6 here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a 6 right there. So a 6 like a G6, that type of chord, it'll have that 6 in there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if you mean a 6 chord in that way or the. So regardless of what type of chord it is, as long as the notes fall on whatever the note is of that chord. So if I am playing a E minor, let's just say I'm playing an E minor, but I switched to a E9, okay, E minor. Let's just say I'm going back and forth between that. Well, if I choose the notes within that chord, same thing applies. I'm playing the notes that are in the chord, that are in each chord, and it just makes sense. Now, sometimes other notes work, but as a rule of thumb, you stay on the chord. Now, I don't know if I'm answering your questions or not. So let me know where I'm at as I'm answering your question. But yeah, pretty much if you're playing a chord, like I would encourage anybody to sort of determine what the actual chord progression is, determine what chords fall on the chord progression, and then kind of go from there. And sometimes it is easy to find the notes themselves. But, if you want to get a stronger foundation, get the actual chord. In this example, so here are the notes. Take away some. Take away some. You know what I'm saying? Then if you sauce it up. So I don't know if that's what you mean or not. So yeah, man. I appreciate those suggestions. But yeah, Brian, like let me know if I'm on or in the realm of what you're saying. See what I'm looking like on time. I'm almost at an hour, which I'm actually doing pretty good. So yeah. Let me know where we at, Brian. I didn't know if that was like I said, answering your question. Does anybody else have questions about this? And again, I wouldn't expect for anyone to just pick this up like a snap. It's important. You got to put your toe in the water. It's like the initial response can be, all right, cool, I'm all ears. You know what I'm saying? I'm all ears. And then the more you hear it, the more familiar it becomes. And the more you try it on your own guitar, the more it's like, oh, okay, cool. I get it. I get it. My battery's starting to get get a little low. Oh, got it. A D major 9. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying now. Yeah, the same thing applies because now, like, if we're talking about a D major 9, let's say D major 9, which is it's not in the key of that's not in the key of G. Here's a D major, D major 7th, D major 9. A little bit different, a little bit warmer. I love major 9 chords. So in this case, how about I use a C major 9? Here's a major 7th. Here's the major 9. To be honest with you, in a situation like that, let's say I'm going from the D major to the C. Here's the D major again. Here's the C major 9. So the C major 9 shares a lot of the same notes as the G major. Like those top notes are a lot of those same notes that's in the G major. Because here's the C major. You're no longer playing those. You're no longer playing this. You're actually playing. You're no longer playing the. What is this? A E. You're no longer playing that. You're actually playing an. Not an E. Yeah. It's actually E. A. So you're going to half step down. Well, not a half step, but a whole step down from that. So you're not playing this. You're playing this. And with this note, you're not playing the C, like the higher octave C. You're actually playing, what are we playing? You're playing the A right here. So it's moving from that. So instead of this, you're playing. Actually, no, dog, I'm tripping. Don't listen to me, y'all, but do listen to me. So that's actually a B right there. So it's going from that C to a B. So instead of this, now you're playing this. So let's go. But as far as the C, you're playing the C and you're playing that third. So that's what makes up the chord. So if you wanted to incorporate it into a double stop, going from D major to C major 7, you're going to be. Which could actually sound also like you're playing a 5-1 chord progression, like D major to G major. So if I'm going, the same is going to be true going from the D to the C major 9. If I'm playing the G and B string. Now I'm going to go to a different set of strings. If I'm going to play the D and G string, I'm going to show you how that's going to sound. Now that's going to sound a little different. That's going to be like. And I don't know if this is making sense to you or not. If I play the what's on the A and D string, which is like this on the D major, which you're not going to hear much of a difference from a major chord in that sense on that particular double stop progression. You're not going to hear much of a difference, but you'll hear more of a difference. Let me turn down my backlight real quick. That will. All right. So you would hear more of a difference if you're playing like the D and G string, or the G and B strings in that particular instance, or whatever. So I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's what that is. Or so you know, it just, you know, you're really just picking and choosing what part of the chord you want to take. Now there are some songs that break this rule, but it's breaking the rule. It's not literally breaking the rule. Sometimes other stuff just sounds better. Sometimes out of that C major 9 that I was just playing, someone may still play what's technically a major 7 type voicing, and somebody else plays what's a major 9 voicing, but they do kind of go together, you know. So like I said, I'm being technical but conversational. So Brian, I don't know if that helped. I'm like saying stuff, and give me some feedback, man. But yeah, I hope this was helpful. And Brian, if that was not helpful, you know, I would definitely like to go deeper into that and help you get it. All right. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Because I'm be honest with you, I learn songs every week. You know what I'm saying? I practice a lot of memorization. I do a lot of transcribing. I do that for a living. So, well, that's one thing that contributes to my living. But so yeah, so sometimes I'm literally just, all right, Brian, cool. So sometimes I'm literally just practicing what the song is doing, and I'm listening and letting my ear just tell me what to play. And typically, you know, it's all good. There are some songs I'll be like, why did they do that? But that's what the song does. And you know, it makes sense for what they're wanting to do. Why D major 9 is, okay. Good question. I'm glad you asked it. D major 9. Okay, here's D major. Yo, TikTok, I might have to peace out, y'all. Y'all ain't asking me nothing anyway. Y'all be all right. I'll come back through. I'm gonna keep it on YouTube. If y'all want to come and continue, I'm on my desktop on YouTube, so it's gonna stay up. But my phone is powering my Ira Extreme, so I need to charge it up. Peace, y'all. Love you. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Peace. Hold on. I got a question. What's my name on YouTube? You can either type in Kashif Music, which is my TikTok name, or the Guitar Players Club. You can literally go to my TikTok profile and just click the link under my picture. All right. But the Guitar Players Club is the only one. It's funny, ain't nobody had that name. I got it. I'm ready to take over the world. But yeah, the Guitar Players Club or Kashif Music, you can type in either one. I'm going to come up either way. Peace. All right. That is such a good, when I say that's a good question, Brian, I'm glad you asked it. So right now, I'm going to answer that question. So the question for anybody else that's watching on YouTube, let me turn this off. Take this off right here. This is my phone. I was on TikTok on my phone. Oh, Lord. And I was on Twitch. I'm still on Twitch too. I ain't even talking to y'all. Y'all ain't saying nothing. But anyway, excuse that snap. Okay, so here it is. The reason why, to put it as quickly as possible. Let me do this real quick. I got another little camera right here. I got all types of cameras up in this thing, man. Maybe you can see, but I'll bring it closer if I need to. Illustration. Will this one come closer? No. What about that one? Nope. What about that one? Nope. 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 Same thing. Huh. Okay. Let me do. Nope. I thought I had this set up. I guess I don't. All right. Bear with me real quick, and I'm gonna put this other camera on real fast, just like this. Take that away. Take that away, and I'm here. Boom. All right. So hopefully you can see that closer. And let me take my delay off. So here is a D major. There's that. All right, the reason why D major 9 isn't in G is because, number one, the notes don't fall. Here is a D major 9. Now the notes that are in G that are in D is this actual D. This F sharp is in D. And this, what is this, an E? This E is in the key of G. So those three notes are in there. But this D flat is not in the key of G. Here's why. It skips right by it. So literally the note right next to it is this C, and one semitone from that is this note, which is actually in the D major 9 chord. So I don't know if that makes sense. So here's the D major 9. This note right here is nowhere in the G major scale. So, did that explain it? Because you know, G major, here are the notes. So if I were to just add that note in there, that's not in the scale. It goes right by that, unless you alter the scale. But here are the notes. So does that answer your question? When it comes to a G major, it's not in the G major scale. So it's not in the key of G. So that's why these chords, like G major, then you have A minor. They're falling right on those notes. Those notes are falling in the scale, as well as these on B minor. Bum, 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 coming from that 3. Give me some feedback now. Yeah. Yo, listen, don't even do that to yourself. Again, I'm here to, like, whatever I can clear up, because I don't know everything. I know a lot. I know a lot about these chords now. I know quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, just from a technical standpoint, that is not in the key of G. But here's the thing though. This D, that's a D major, okay? That's on the 5. But on the 4, because typically of any major key, you can note this, of any major key, the 5, you cannot play a major 7th or a major 9th chord on the 5. You can play a sus4 chord in terms of what is in the key. Now, you can play whatever chord you want to, but it just won't be in the key. You know, as far as what's in there. Like there's a sus4. Okay. Usually a sus4 will resolve to to a regular major chord. In particular on the 5, that falls right in there, or a sus2 or add 2. Those notes fall on inside the G major key, like without deviating. Now, sometimes you hear a chord progression that goes like 6, then it goes to a 5, but it'll play a 5 minor. So you'll hear that, but this 5, that minor, that's not in the key of G. They just happen to insert that into that particular chord progression for the sake of transitioning or for the sake of passing chords and things like that. So I hope that makes sense. Now, the 4 chord got all that juice in it. So because that has a lot of the notes from that 1 in there, and you could literally 1, 4, straight up G major, or you can do a G major 7th or G major 9, then 4, or which is the 4 is a C. You can do the C major, you know, or the C major 7th. So the way that'll sound is like this. Saying? So that goes. So going from a 1 to a 4, that does match up like every time in terms of what's in the key of G without like altering the scale. So yep. Now, of course, there are times where, you know, you change the key in the middle of a chord progression. That's a different conversation. You know, some keys do the, you know, let me bring up a chord progression like 6, 4, 2, 5. Let me keep that going. I'm gonna kind of put a little flavor in it. I forgot what I did. 4, 2, 5. Now, for the sake of an example, watch when I do this. I'm going to do a 6, 4, 2, 5, and watch me put a major 7th in the 5, and you tell me how it sounds. Same thing. I'm doing the 5. Same thing with a major 9 on that D. Doesn't go. Not unless it's intentional. There's the 5. D major. Here's the that's the D major 9. Or here's the D major 7. So, but like I said, that 4, you can play the major 7th on that, which is the C major. There's the B minor. And now on F5, you can do that sus4. Now, if you continue to do that and you just want to take the chord progression somewhere else, well, then you can, go outside of the key. Go. You want to do the walk-ups and all that other stuff. But 6, 4, 2, you can put that in it, but that's outside the key. So here's a 5, here's a flat 5. Here's the 5, here's a diminished 7th, which is a flat 6 in terms of those intervals then. So if you want to add more, if you want to add melody in it and stuff, the way it sounds with the major, not the major, but the root. So yeah, y'all, I hope that was helpful, and hope, shoot, if that was double stops, if that were double stops, that is, so, that's just how that would sound. Yeah, that's just taking the notes, and it, you have to do it a lot before it actually starts to really stick. So yeah, that's what it is, y'all. I hope that was helpful. And I ain't getting no other feedback other than Brian in the past 30 minutes. And Brian has been the only one in the past 30 minutes after, everybody else. So yeah, man, I hope I see y'all again in the chats. And is anybody local to Atlanta? Anybody in the chat? I see it's 11 people on here. Is anybody local to Atlanta? Speak now, forever hold your peace. You cannot repeat all of it. You might have to run it back. You got to run it back. Yeah, I got to be out. To YouTube, add Sarah the worst. Hey, I love it. I appreciate it. But yo, is anyone local to Atlanta? Nobody? Okay. All right, cool. I'm just trying to do a little meetup, yo. This is the Guitar Players Club. We don't just do online. We do meetups. So just putting that out there. You know what I'm saying? The dog said. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'm about to head out, and thank you all for joining me. And if there's somebody local in Atlanta, let me know. Drop me a line, a comment or something on on TikTok or Instagram, or do something. I'll be opening my community up soon, so y'all be able to do that too as well there. But I'm rambling. I can be long-winded at times. believe it or not, offline. I don't say much. All right, y'all. Peace. I'll see y'all.